The days ahead will be profoundly different from those we've known in our lifetimes, yet eerily similar to many others. The United States ran out of money and defaulted on its debts in 1971. That's correct. The United States ran out of money. How? Back then, gold was the currency used in international trade. Paper money, such as the dollar, had no intrinsic worth, other than the ability to be traded for gold, which was genuine money. At the time, the US was spending far more money than it was earning, by issuing far more paper money checks than it had gold in the bank to exchange for them. As people exchanged their checks for gold money, the amount of gold in the US began to decline. People holding dollars rushed to swap them before the gold ran out, as it became clear that the US couldn't keep its promises for all of the existing paper money. Recognizing that the United States was about to run out of real money, the government had to adjust its policies at the moment. The same thing happened in 1933 and had the same result. On the radio, President Roosevelt declared that the country's promise to swap currencies for gold would be broken.
It was then that I issued the proclamation providing for the National Bank holiday, and this was the first step in the government's reconstruction of our financial and economic fabric. The second step, last Thursday, was the legislation promptly and patriotically passed by the Congress, confirming my proclamation and broadening my powers so that it became possible, in view of the requirement of time, to extend the holiday and lift the ban of that holiday gradually in the days to come.
The same event had happened numerous times previously. When central banks produce a lot of money to relieve a crisis, buy equities, gold, and commodities, because their value will rise, while paper money's value will decline. That's what happened in 2008 and 2020, and it'll almost definitely happen again. As a result, I recommend that you keep this principle in mind. 3 things change the world order. First, governments did not have enough money to pay their debts, even after interest rates were reduced to zero. Second, large internal disputes arose as a result of expanding wealth and value disparities. Third, there is an increase in external conflict between a growing great power and the leading great power, as is currently occurring between China and the United States. All of this has happened previously and almost invariably resulted in changes to domestic and global orders. What exactly is an order? You could inquire. It is a regulating framework for people who interact with one another. You get the picture. The current world order is colloquially known as the American world order. I'm going to break down the normal cycle into 3 sections: the rise, the peak, and the decline. The rise. Powerful revolutionary leaders generally initiate successful new orders, both internal and external, by doing 4 things. First and foremost, they gain power. Second, they increase power. Third, they construct processes and institutions that allow the country to function properly. Fourth, they carefully select their successors or develop institutions that do so, because a big empire necessitates many great leaders over several generations. During this period, the country's leaders must devise an effective system to increase the country's riches and influence. This propels the country toward greater wealth. As a natural result, the world's greatest empires establish the world's leading financial centers for attracting and distributing capital. New York is already the world's financial hub, and China is rapidly creating its own. China's currency is increasingly being used as a reserve currency these days. The peak. While most of these strengths are sustained at the peak phase, the seeds of their collapse are embedded within the fruits of their success. As a general rule, as people in these wealthy and powerful countries earn more, they become more expensive and less competitive in comparison to people in other countries who are willing to work for less. The decline. Internal economic weakness combined with internal warfare, costly exterior fighting, or both cause the decline. Typically, the decrease occurs gradually at first, then abruptly. When debt levels reach critical levels and an economic downturn occurs, the financial bubble pops. These are the critical elements that will play critical roles in transforming the world order. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss another instructional and interesting video like this one. Thank you for sticking with me until the end.